What's going on, everyone? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is usually our retro Sunday Night Heat review show. But hey, it's 22 years ago today that SummerSlam 98 happened. So fuck it, we're going to review that today too. And that's going to be kind of our main focus.
Hello, ladies.
So I'm your host, Corey Smith, and that guy over there, wherever he is next to me, is Jose Oseguera, creeping me out with his Val Venus impersonation.
I'm sorry.
But I'm glad we watched this show. I'm glad, and it was a fun show overall. SummerSlam 98. What did you overall, real quick, in just a couple of sentences, what did you think of the show?
It was a chore to begin, but it was a joy to finish.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was one of those shows that when looking back, I'm like, wow, when they say the in-ring product is the best it's ever been today, they were not kidding.
Yeah.
It's really where you get those slow, methodical paces, and especially in the ladder match. Well, I'll get into all that. First, we're going to talk about Sunday Night Heat, episode 5, real quick. So it was the pre-show. They're trying to get you to buy the pay-per-view, and then we'll go fully into SummerSlam 98. Before we get into all of that, though, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at CWR415, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's kind of the best way to stay up to date with us. We post a lot of cool shit on there, or as some would say, a lot of neat stuff on especially Instagram. Check us out there, and don't forget to click the subscribe button, the bell, and all that good stuff, because to stay up to date with City Wrestling Radio and all of our podcasts, including the B Show that I do every week with Michael Vergara, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a week, depending on how many times they break up those shows. But check us out. NBA. Exactly. Check us out on YouTube each week, where we review AEW Dynamite and NXT. So let's just hop right into it. Anything else you want to add before we get into it, Jose?
Just that I may or may not be convinced to do an unboxing of this little guy picked up at our local Walmart.
Does it have the title belt? Does it have the belt?
I can't tell because he has this scarf blocking it.
I thought it was he's supposed to. Yeah.
It's not on the sides.
No, we'll see.
It's not on this inside.
Maybe. No. You got to stay tuned to the end of the show to find out.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. Sunday Night Heat, episode 5 took place August 30th, 1998. We are on Shane Watch, day number 5, because Shane is still on commentary for Sunday Night Heat. I think this is only going to happen for, I believe, a couple more months.
A couple more months? That's 8 episodes.
This is the pre-show, like I said, for SummerSlam 98, taking place at Madison Square Garden in the wonderful New York City. As Shane calls it, the house that Grandpa McMahon built, because, when you think of the Madison Square Garden, you think of Vincent McMahon Sr. I mean, I don't know. Shane comes down to the ring, and he's coming to the ring with a live cameraman, trips up and falls. Did you catch that?
Was that for real, or was it
I think that was for real, because the entire night, the whole production team, I don't know, I like that entranceway at Madison Square Garden, but at the same time, like, there's like no veil. It's just like you just see people running around the entire night.
All day you see them back and forth, and you don't know if it's a run-in or if it's just some janitor.
And it was so hard. Like, once I caught it too, I heard it the entire night. Like, I think you hear Vince on a walkie-talkie or on something, because you hear like JR.
It might be done. It might be somebody else. Yeah. While Vince was talking during the pay-per-view.
Either Vince or there was like a security guard near a microphone somewhere.
Maybe, because there was a time where Vince was cutting a little promo with McFoley.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was doing the encouragement bit.
And you hear somebody in the background. Okay, like tell her to walk away. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, get her going. Let's go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll kick it off with the first match of the night. LOD 2000. This is Draws an Animal versus the team of Too Much. That's Brian Christopher and Scott Too Much Taylor. Boy, oh boy, we are continuing the Hawk alcoholic ankle, and it's too much to watch, man. Yeah. Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor, they come into the ring to the Jump Animal. Edge, he's just apparently he bought a lot of tickets tonight, because he is just all around the arena just watching, because he's a slow enigma, just uniquely watching everyone. Too Much is isolating Animal from the tag. Animal doesn't. He hits like a double suplex on Too Much. Animal signals Hawk, but Hawk, I don't know why he goes up to the top. They think he's, it's just this match sucked. Like you have a drunken Hawk. The story of the match. Sorry, I'm using my notes. This is fucking me up too. My notes are usually on the computer. I'm just gonna do that from now. Sorry, I was trying something new. It's not working. So what happened was Draws and Animal come into the ring, and then Hawk comes to the ring. Hawk tells him, "It's all right, man. I got it. I
just came from the bar, and don't worry, I got it. I'm good to go."
And this isn't me.
I love you, Animal.
This is literally the character he's portraying. Yeah. So Animal, it's now LOD 2000 draws or Animal and Hawk versus Too Much, and like I said, Edge is watching from the rings, from the stands. Animal goes up, but slightly falls off the top when he goes for the Doomsday Device. Hawk goes up again, and he just falls over onto Animal. And Scott Taylor gets the pin on Animal. I give this match a 2 out of 10 because it sucked. Like, there's not really much to say about it, Then we have the infamous Sable interview with Shawn Michaels. And HBK wants to know who her mystery partner tonight is going to be in the mixed tag match against Mark Merrow and Jacqueline. HBK, he asks her the question, and she says, "I'm not going to tell you, but I will say this. It won't be one of the oddities." And I'm just like, Sable, okay, great. I don't really care at that point. She's horrible on the mic, and I don't know. She's really bad. She's just bad. I don't care if Brock Lesnar hears this. I don't care if you hear this, Brock. Your wife's not great.
Let's just remember it's 1998.
Oh yeah. No, I know. But then there's this weird part where HBK is just like, okay, well, let's just give everyone what they came to see. Me grinding up on you, Sable. And he just starts dancing on Sable. And yeah. And she's popping out of her dress. And
again, it's 1998.
Yeah. It's 1998. So yeah. Then they both start dancing, and it's just him. Gangrel with no leather jacket versus Dustin Rhodes. I guess Gangrel only had a leather jacket for 1 week. And
he figured out how cumbersome it was.
He felt like, he said, you know what? I think this leather jacket in 22 years is going to get a podcast in trouble with YouTube and give them a copyright strike. So I'm not going to wear it anymore. And I was like, thank you, Gangrel. I appreciate that. Gangrel begins stomping on Dustin. Dustin goes for a face buster on Gangrel. Dustin gets Grill up for a power slam, and then just kind of just sloppily drops him on the ropes. Counter power slam to Dustin. Dustin then does Dustin things, the throat chop and the stuff he does in the corner. Elevated DDT to Dustin. Gangrel gets the pin and the win. It was a weird match, but had glimpses of good spots. And there was some, I don't know, good back and forth. But
they're both decent workers. Yeah,
it was sloppy.
There was no plan going into that match.
DX arrives to the arena, and then we have the same video package of Mario Lopez and Val Venus from a week before.
There was a Saved by the Bell marathon last night on IFC. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
If there was, I'm gonna wait for the Pac Blue marathon because I want to just watch Triple H and Pacific Blue again.
I'm sorry,
come here, Blondie. I'm gonna give you a power slam.
On the Peacock, they're rebooting Saved by the Bell.
I heard.
AC Slater's gonna be like the gym teacher.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's gonna be hitting on everybody's mom.
The big Valboski gets he's in a pool or a hot tub with a bunch of his lady friends, and it's funny how they're still trying to make him somewhat of a face, even though he's a dick. Like no matter what he does, he's just a total heel. And he says, even though Lopez is a great actor, he can't get big in the big Valboski's face. And I was just like, all right. So I went and I pie faced him. Ooh, yeah. I'm like,
bro, there's children watching.
Like he's getting he sounds like he's getting serviced every time he's talking. Like, if he has some stamina for not just exploding and then just girl, I need a break. I can't do this. So this show's really hard to do when you have your producer dancing in a towel for you and you see him.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a Michael Cole interview backstage. He's interviewing Vince. But I don't know what the hell they're saying because the mic wasn't working for the first part of it. And all you hear is, and I won't let Stone Cold come. I vow he won't do it again. I'm like, what? He won't do what again?
Mm-hmm. Someone in production, tell him. I know he has an earpiece in. Come
on. And then we have probably the most, I'm going to say it. I think this is probably the most cringeworthy moment of the night is Jeff Jarrett and Southern Justice coming out to the ring to beat down on Howard Finkel to the point where they're shaving every piece of hair off of his face and head for like 3 to 4 minutes. They legit look like they're hurting him for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Finkel's working. Maybe he's working me. But I felt bad for. I was like, this is just not right.
No, true story. Just today, a little while ago, I was putting the clippers to my mustache, and my clippers has one little clip missing, and it cut the shit out of me. Like, oh my God. Now, if you can imagine it forcibly being ran on your face, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. So I felt really bad for Fink, but it plays into the story later. And that's the one thing about SummerSlam 98 is that there's a lot of playing, a lot of long storytelling within the show, a lot of things in the background that I didn't even notice until going back and kind of looking at little things here and there. But yeah. Then we have Sergeant Slaughter, Pat Patterson, and Gerald Briscoe. They're trying to take the sledgehammer from Stone Cold because he's waiting for the Undertaker and Kane coming to the arena. And they don't, though. It's Stone Cold. DOA, 8-Ball, and Skull versus Bradshaw and Vader. We continue the complete burial of Vader in WWF.
What did he do to deserve that, man?
Well, you know, he's Vader, and he was a WCW guy. So Bradshaw, Vader, they get into each other's faces. They argue about who will start the match. At one point, Vader is whipped into the ropes, and his partner Bradshaw strikes him. We have a roll-up pin. Vader gets the pin. This match also sucked. I gave it a 3 out of 10. It didn't do anything for me, only to set up the brawl between Vader and Bradshaw coming up.
It's almost like they said, let's set up heat just to squash Vader every week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and it's funny because he's like a face too, you know, and he's super over with the fans. It's because of Boy Meets World. Like that's one of the main reasons why he's over with the mainstream audience.
Yeah,
with the mainstream audience.
Vince hates that. How do you put yourself over like that? I never authorized little boys shows.
So, but no, I mean, he was a great wrestler, and he was IWGP champion, former WCW champion. I give him that. He should have been booked better in WWF. But I think
his helmet in Japan was insane.
But the main reason, I think, the reason why he was so over in 1998 as a babyface, it had a little bit to do with his TV roles. Mainstream
attention, yeah. Exactly. Mainstream attention, yeah.
Then we have McMahon. He's I love this moment because Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, and Slaughter, they go up to McMahon and tell him, we can't get the sledgehammer from him. And Patterson's just trying to get his line out. He's like, oh, well, you go take it from him, Vince. And what was that? Well, you go take it from him, Vince. Well, I think I will. Well, okay, we'll go do it. Okay, I will. Okay. Like, fuck, Patterson would get right in Vince's face, man. I'm like, oh yeah. The Austin, he's backstage. He doesn't give up the sledgehammer, though. He promises that the pay-per-view will have it, but just make sure he doesn't want to make sure Kane gets involved. So Kane will not show up tonight. We have a recap of Triple H and The Rock, their journey to SummerSlam. The Rock and the Nation come out to the ring before The Rock can even say anything. Them and DX brawl. The Rock does get a shot in on Triple H, though, into his knee with the title, kind of playing into their match later. Austin waiting for Kane and Taker backstage. A hearse pulls up. Austin breaks the windows with a sledgehammer. Then he proceeds to get a forklift and just lift up the back of it for a second. And it was just weird. And then it was really good, though, because they cut it off at the moment where you're like, God damn, I got to buy this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because it was such a cliffhanger. You're like, oh, what's going to happen is Austin. Who's in that? Who is the one? Oh my God. Get your credit cards out. Type it in. Call your cable company. Bye. Like, oh, well, fuck. I'm just going to call Don Hendricks right now and give him my credit card number. I want to see this pay-per-view.
Yeah, no. Around those times, I remember it was Comcast.
I don't know if I would trust Don Hendricks with my credit card number.
No. But yeah, back then was a dial 1 if you want WrestleMania. Oh, no, wait. This isn't WrestleMania. This is SummerSlam. Dial 2 if you want Over the Edge. Wait, this isn't What's going on? Dial 3 if you want SummerSlam.
Wait,
97.
There's too many of them. All right. I don't want SummerSlam 97. I want SummerSlam 98. Let's kick off our full review of SummerSlam 98 finally. Because it's the highway to hell. And when you think of the highway to hell, what song do you think of?
AC/DC.
No, a really weird, overdubbed, random, generic guitar song, probably due to copyright laws and all that stuff. They're not going to pay for AC/DC.
Oh, no.
It was just a bummer because that's what I remember. What, like, one of the big things I remember about the show is I'm on the highway to hell. Bam, bam, and nonetheless,
you know what's lame is, you know how they have the ECW catalogs?
Yeah.
And every entrance in ECW was, you know, it was a pop song. I won't say a pop song, but it was a real legit song on the radio or somewhere on somebody's album.
Yeah.
You hear it now on the network and you're like, oh, come on.
It's like
it was like a fake imitation copy of the theme you want to hear. Like Rob Van Dam. What was his theme? Do you remember?
I don't remember an ECW.
I wonder if our producer does.
Well, nonetheless, he's
okay.
He's checking right now. Then we kick into our first match of the actual main card: D'Lo Brown versus Val Venus, European Championship match. A match that got about 15 minutes and 24 seconds. Well, what were you going to say, Jose?
That D'Lo is originally from Chicago, but he's in Helsinki, Finland, but he's originally from Portugal.
I love that because that's what they're doing for this European title. Every week, D'Lo Brown comes out to the ring, and they're billing him from another town from Europe, and it's great. He comes out to the ring, and he still has his chest protector on, getting his chest hurt by Dan Severn, I believe months ago. But you know, it's really funny though because they take it off later, and you see how really thin it is. It literally is just the lightest piece of fabric. Val Venus comes out. He says, "I came, I saw, I came again."
Boo.
I was like, "All right, Val, cool."
I can see the screens behind him with people going like this.
Yeah, I don't know how I ever liked him as a kid.
Yeah, and they're trying so hard to make him into Rick Rude. 2.0, and it's just failing miserably.
The two lock up, and then the two lock up again. I love how D'Lo goes to shake Val's hand. It was just like, no, don't, just fucking go for it. Val chases him around the ring. D'Lo's chest protector has been reinforced and treated like a weapon in this match. Val fights back.
It's made out of sponge,
and there's like pieces of foil on it.
Yeah.
Val fights back and hits a spine buster on D'Lo, and then Edge is watching from another spot in the arena. So like they're just letting this guy go to any seat he wants.
He's looking for the bathroom.
And I love how he's just like, one point he's just like next to a grandma, the next point he's just next to some kids. Like, and the people next to him are like, "What are you doing, sir? Are you okay? Does he need to get by or something? I don't know." But anyways,
so I'm watching the match and I'm like, these guys, you know, they're great athletes.
Yeah.
They're pretty good workers, but something's missing. What's missing? And then of course JR drops the bomb that one is 26 and one is 27.
They're young.
They're very young. So, you know, psychology still.
And the crowd, I don't want to say the crowd wasn't into this match because when the stuff started to happen, they started to pop. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the distraction of social media back then. They were just kind of like, yeah, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, something happened. Yay.
They weren't checking their Twitter.
Yeah. We get an exploder suplex to D'Lo Brown, Texas Cloverleaf to Val, and D'Lo just decides to release the hold. I didn't get that at all. Even the commentary points out like, well, D'Lo just decided to release the hold. Yeah, he definitely did. That's astute observation.
Yeah, there's another sloppy spot coming up too.
Val dodges a senton. D'Lo goes, catches Val, hits the lowdown, DDT to Val, followed by a kick out, power slam to D'Lo. And I feel like there's a lot going on here. So D'Lo, one of the sloppiest power bombs ever.
Dude, he almost killed him. But at least he let him down gently.
He tries to pick up Val Venus for a power bomb and just kind of drops him on his head and then tries to go for it again.
Well, at first it felt like Val didn't want to go with it.
Yeah.
He tried to pick him up and Val didn't budge.
I feel like
then he smacked him on the back. Then he was like, "Oh, we're doing this spot."
I feel like there's a lot of like arguing between each other, like with people in matches at this time. Politicking within the ring, I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to make me look better. I'm not going to make you look better. I got to look good, you know.
But I'm the new porn star.
what? That's the thing is like I was a kid. I was like, what porn were you in? Like I just wanted to see the video.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
I think he was pretty ashamed that grannies like it, Val.
Okay. D'Lo he hits the running power bomb. Val dodges the frog splash. Val then rips off D'Lo's chest protector and puts it on himself.
And you see how spongy it is.
Yeah. The ref Jimmy Cordera is pleading with Val to take off the vest, and then accidentally crotches Val on the ring post. Although it doesn't phase him too much because he hits an atomic drop. And Val goes to the top rope again, pushes the ref out of the way. Ref calls for the bell, and it's a DQ win for D'Lo Brown. DQ for D'Lo. That was a 4 out of 10. Match wasn't that great. The beginning was really slow, and despite the brief spots or the brief sprints of good parts of this match, it was a dumb as fuck finish.
Yeah, so everybody's disappointed in the finish, and we're supposed to pop after with what happens next.
Yeah. So first off, not a good way to start a show. Yeah, and then Val just beats up the referee and gives him the money shot, which is the flying body splash from the top rope.
So your face is
just beating up the ref. I wonder if we're close to that ref strike. Is that coming up later, or did that already happen? Nonetheless, it was dumb. Next up, we have Michael Cole with Mankind backstage. Apparently, the hearse that pulled into the arena earlier belonged to Mankind, and it was a special ride to take Kane out of the arena tonight. Because apparently, Kane and Undertaker have joined forces recently. They're brothers. They're hanging out. But I think it's more of like a mutual respect at this point. Like, yeah, you're my brother. I'll do stuff with you, but just we're not going to hang out all the time. You know, I still do my thing. You do yours. And we'll see each other on Thanksgiving. And Paul
I go bowling on Tuesdays.
He was like, I will see you, Dad. Mankind now wishes the sledgehammer that he's going to use the sledgehammer that was left behind by Austin earlier or for later tonight. So he wants to use it. That sledgehammer comes into play later. Keep an eye on that sledgehammer. Next up, we have Kai and Tai versus the Oddities. Everyone come see the greatest show. Gather up all the boys and juggalos. I believe it's juggahos, they said in the song, but I didn't want to go there, but I did.
You just
ICP, they another moment of the show where they copyright laws, they took it out, and it was a bummer, you know. At least they didn't play the overdubbed music of the Oddities, where it was just like
the one from last week's Heat.
Yeah, where they just like played like whistles and bells and like. One thing I did like about this match is I thought there were some good spots that Kai and Tai was getting off on, like, you know, Golga and Silva. You know, the triple team spots. They were fun. Silva. He gets some good Andre the Giant spots with them. But at the end of the match, had Golga hit a body splash to Kai and Tai, a pin in the win, another 4 out of 10 match. How long was it? 10 minutes. 10 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, I felt like way longer.
10 minutes and 10 seconds. It should have been 6, my opinion.
Yeah. But wait, there's a Method Man sighting.
Oh, no. That's later tonight, but I will talk about that now. Why wasn't Method Man put ringside? Yeah. That is ridiculous.
I think he bought his own ticket.
Vince should have went up to him and said, excuse me, Mr. Man, I want to bring you down to ringside, and I want to show you off to the fans. And you're a big WWF fan.
To be fair, they eventually do, and they even drafted him to be on the John Cena theme.
Okay.
His entrance for a little bit. Do you remember
that? Okay. I get our producer's showing us something. I don't know what it is. Anyways, what was it, Jose?
I don't know. I couldn't see. It was too bright.
Anyways, the SummerSlam bus is outside. Oh, Dave Meltzer. Anyways, we get a shot of the SummerSlam bus outside, a very old school 90s looking bus, just chilling outside of the Madison Square Garden Arena. What was it about the 90s and tour buses? Like, I felt like the 90s was really big into tour buses. You know,
maybe because the movie La Bamba came out and everybody was worried about flying small aircraft.
Everything I saw was just tour bus. Like someone would have their tour. I'm like, all right, man.
There was MTV Cribs in the tour bus.
Real World Road Rules. They went from like having the Winnebago to having a tour bus. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. Anyways,
The Lex Express.
Lex Express was another tour bus that they often showed off on WWE. Let's go to our next match though. X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett. Got 11 minutes and 11 seconds. So make a wish.
Holy crap! I completely jumped that. My bad.
Well, you know what?
It was such a good opener. I thought that was.
I won't be mad at you, but the person sitting watching the video right now is very angry at you because they're not going to get the City Wrestling J experience for this match. It's okay. I got some good notes on this though.
All right.
I don't know why in the 90s you couldn't say piss, but in the 70s you can show boobs on TV and say fuck. Like, I don't know.
Different times. You can drop M-bombs in the 70s. Like if you ever watched Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Those little rascals were some racist bastards.
X-Pac comes out with the newest member of DX, Howard Finkel, who was an honorary member of DX for the night, because felt like the most face person in DX was X-Pac. He was always the one to like reach out to people and do community service for DX. Like he was Kane's tag team partner. He's helping Howard Finkel kind of reacclimate to society, you know, getting him back into the ring after being brutally attacked earlier.
He was the DX ambassador.
Exactly. X-Pac and Fink, they come out to the ring. They do the pyro, and X-Pac says, well, we're going to beat you tonight, and we got 2 words for you. And Finkel just yells, suck it, and it's great. And I was like, oh, Finkel, I miss you. I love you, buddy. Jeff Jarrett attacks Pac, though, as soon as he turns his back. X-Pac hits a nice crossbody to Jeff Jarrett from the turnbuckle, though, and Jeff Jarrett falls onto the floor, or to Jeff Jarrett on the floor. X-Pac crotched on the post by Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett, though, throws Pac into all 4. God, I needed to review my notes before I did this. Sorry. But it was a nice tornado DDT to Jeff Jarrett. Fans are actually into X-Pac at this part of his career because they're hot for him.
Yeah.
And then you hear Finkel ringside, come on, baby, you got this. Let's go. Woo. I love you, baby. I'm like, why do you keep calling X-Pac baby? Backdrop to Jeff Jarrett. Both men are down. We have a Bronco Buster. Jarrett, though, fights back with a bump into just a bump. He just bumps into him. And then JR at one point says, well, Fink thinks he's Bill Parcells out there.
Oh, God, I didn't catch that.
I was like, all right, JR, you just... All right. Fink is on the apron, trying to inform the ref that there was a low blow at some point. I didn't see it. Jeff Jarrett strikes Fink. X Factor to Jeff Jarrett, kick out. As Pac, though, is going for the X Factor, you can see Southern Justice kind of waiting for their cue coming down to the ring. You can see their silhouettes behind the gate. They're just like,
problem all night long. Yeah.
Okay, go. Knight distracts the ref while Cannonberry swings the tiny guitar at X-Pac. But Pac hits a nice looking stunner on him on the ropes. X-Pac then grabs the child-sized guitar and swings it at Jeff Jarrett, hits him in the head, the pin, and the win.
What happened to all the dust that was inside the guitars? Remember that?
Oh, they put sawdust in it at some point.
The chalk.
I don't know. I don't remember that though.
It had a better effect. It was mostly an NWA WCW thing.
X-Pac gets the pin, the win. It was a 5 out of 10 for me. I don't know how to feel about this match because parts of me want to like it. But it just wasn't that good. And I will say this though, they did build this match up over time.
Yeah. No, for me, this definitely should have been the opener of the night instead of what we got. Like the first 2 matches,
it would have been a way better opener. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the match, Southern Justice, I believe our producer Michael Vergara wants to chime in.
Hey everybody, this is me. This is going to be like one of the few times I'll interject on this review. I will just say, watching back on any of those Attitude Era shows, Sean Waltman, X-Pac, has aged the best out of everybody in the Attitude Era. He is an underrated.
You know it, Daddy. You know it.
Good. He looks good now.
He looks good now. He looks great. Watch his match at Cannibal Carnage against The Rock, 98. If that's going to be a future review, I'll be in it.
I think so. I think it is. It definitely. I mean, it's 90. What? When did it take place in 98?
I think that was like it was a British only show.
It might actually be coming up. When I was looking at the reviews.
Okay. Well, I just want to give.
You're just putting it out
let everybody know. Sean Waltman, X-Pac, great wrestler. X-Pac heat. I don't know, man. It seems kind of unwarranted.
I think
anyway, that's me.
Yeah.
B show.
He definitely has the most hair out of all DX.
I think with X-Pac, you're dealing with the X Factor.
I got everything I ever wanted, and I'll never get that back.
All right. And so Southern Justice tries to take Jeff. Turn off your mic.
Yeah, we need to put a squawk box effect on his mic.
After the match, Southern Justice tries to take Jeff Jarrett away before the obligatory haircut. But New Age Outlaws come out to even the odds, followed by draws and the headbangers to hold Jarrett down. And apparently the clippers they got for this were like really cheap, and they stopped working the second they started using them.
Mm-hmm. And it looked like it hurt too.
Yeah, so then they had to get some actual shears to the ring. Someone ran down some scissors. They started cutting up his hair, and it took about 5 minutes. And it was just like, all right, can we just go to the next segment?
Yeah, if anybody could burn time, it's definitely Jeff Jarrett.
But that's when we got the Meth Man sighting in the crowd. Then we have Don Hendricks, quote unquote Don Hendricks, hyping up the Lions Den match coming later tonight. Michael Cole with The Rock backstage. Cole wants to know what The Rock is thinking after attacking Triple H with the IC title earlier in the night, heading into his match. And The Rock just says he wants to slap the yellow out of the teeth of Michael Cole. And I love how Michael Cole goes, okay, Rock, well, shut up. Back to you jabronis at ringside.
He's learning. He's getting it.
Oh, I think this was the night, man. I'll get there later.
Yeah.
Mark Merrow and Jacqueline versus Sable and the mystery partner.
Ooh, who could it be?
This match got about 8 minutes, 26 seconds. Sable comes out. She reveals that her mystery partner is the Enigma.
You think you know me.
I love how they play his music for a good 2 minutes, and you're like, well, who is it? We don't know.
We haven't been watching Heat for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, he had a match.
Yeah.
I know this is his pay-per-view debut, but Edge and Merrow start off the match. Young Edge hits a nice Hurricane Run on Mark Merrow. Jacqueline tags in and wants a piece of Sable. That's when JR says, "This not intergender rules. It's not Andy Kaufman." It's not Andy Kaufman. You're right. Jacqueline runs from Sable as soon as she gets tagged in. Flapjack to Merrow by Edge. Edge counters the TKO, which a TKO is kind of like an F5 maneuver.
It looks very F5-ish, but it has a RKO at the end of it.
Which is weird because Sable was with Merrow and now she's with Brock, and they both do similar finishes. So I don't know, maybe Sable's the one that taught them both. I don't know. But Edge counters a TKO into a DDT.
Edge is so grunge.
Edge is really good in this match. Edge is really good in general, but Sable gives Jackie the worst ever strikes, kicks, and toss I've ever seen.
No, the punches on the ground were the worst.
It was just like, yeah.
Worse than the ones that we saw with AEW with, what do they call it?
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Sable eventually hits a TKO on Jacqueline. Merrow breaks up the count. Sable strikes Merrow. Suicide crossbody to Merrow. Edge tosses Merrow into the ring stairs. Jackie jumps on the back of Edge. Draping neck breaker. Samoan drop to Edge. Hurricane Rana to Merrow.
Which looked good, by the way.
Eventually, and Merrow. If this match was Mark Merrow versus Edge, it would have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been really, really good. Edge hits a downward spiral on Merrow. He then picks up Sable, slams her onto Merrow, which is a nice spot.
Mm-hmm.
But this match sucked. It was a 3 out of 10.
Good guys win. What are you gonna do? Filler. It's the era. This is your mid card. This is the reason why WCW was always dominant around this time over WWF, then known as WWF, because they had an awesome mid card. You were there from the beginner to the end, just anticipating every match. These downers are really killing the pay-per-view, man.
Sable though is not that good.
Well, she's 1998 good.
Shocking, I know. Shocking to say. I'm going on a limb.
Half of her job is not to wrestle.
That's true. Michael Cole backstage with Mankind, and Mankind's informed that Kane will not show up tonight. Therefore, he'll have to go alone in the match against New Age Outlaws. Mankind considers relinquishing the titles. When Michael asks me, he says, "Are you going to relinquish the titles?" Mankind says, "Well, you know what, Michael." I can't do a Mankind. That was really bad, Mankind. But
that was close. I'll pass.
He says, "Why don't we?" Michael goes, "You got to give the fans what they want tonight." And he goes, "Well, why don't you join me in the ring and we'll get our ass kicked? Maybe I'll go play in traffic, because Mankind's been doing ever since he's been thrown off the top of the Hell in the Cell. He's been kind of playing this like he does too much for the fans. The fans don't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, is he wrong?
Yeah. Remember when you did this? Remember you did that? And he was like, yeah, but this is a little different.
Mankind then, McMahon comes in. He walks up to Mankind to try to calm him down. He says,
they took my car. They took my sledgehammer. They took my partner. What else can I do?
Because you can't drop the. You got to go out there and fight, and we'll make it work. I have a plan. I said, okay. Well, the New Age Outlaws tonight. I have 13 words for them. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I have to.
And he walks away. It was great, and I loved it.
Good job, Mick. Good job.
And he did count the letter A as a word. And
it counts.
It counts. It is he is an English scholar. That is true. Bang bang. So then I love how Vince he gives him some random garbage. He goes, "Here, I'm gonna give you everything on a silver platter," and it was just like it was literally a catering tray,
an aluminum platter,
and some candles. Then we have the Lion's Den match, Owen Hart versus Ken Shamrock.
I'm not going to lie. I thought this was going to be a disaster of a match, but I was entertained and enthralled.
They trained very well. The thing is that I don't like MMA stuff. So like some of this match, I'm like, it was too like, I get this look like from people look at me all the time, just like you're crazy. And I don't know.
MMA back then was more ground and pound. It was more on the ground.
Just to let people
all
know,
the time.
I was the one, Corey, giving the look. MMA was in a completely different place in 1998, and to see WWE give a fair shake in this amount, like, it's kind of crazy.
It was 100 times more exciting than a regular MMA fight from back then. You had people fighting in gis back then.
That's way more interesting, honestly. Like it's kind of like if
what are you talking about? They were like
in the first MMA,
clothes.
like in the first UFC, you got like a 300-pound man like fighting like
crazy.
Well, just some dude in a gi, and it's just like, oh shit, this is Street Fighter. So 5 years later, you got Owen Hart doing whatever he's got doing. Anyway, Corey, take us in there.
You can't hear anything going on in the they're not in the main arena. They're in like the Madison Square Garden like theater. Which is like just like some amphitheater, and you can't hear anything going on because of the acoustics. And Shamrock, Jesus Christ, this guy was over like mother effing Rover, man. Everyone loved him, and I mean I loved him when I was younger too. But he's just the like ideal like badass out there,
and he still looks the same today.
Yeah, Shamrock in control in the match. Early leading into ripping off Owen Hart's shirt and choking him with it.
Cool.
We have a Superman stomp to Owen Hart as Shamrock jumps off the cage.
Cool.
Gives him a stomp to the ground. Owen Hart fights back and begins striking Shamrock. Flying forearm to Owen. Shamrock goes for another one of the flying forearms, and Owen catches him, slams him into the mat. Shamrock locks in the ankle lock, and he wins by submission. I can't rate this match just because I don't think it's fair. It was good. It was fun. It was very crisp, and everyone like both guys looked really good in the match.
Yeah, this could only be pulled off by the likes of an Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock. You can't put in The Rock and Mick Foley and expect
Dan Severn could have done it, but
yeah. But it takes a special kind of talent to do this. You know what I mean? So it's just too bad that this cage is somewhat.
But any of the rest, like the WWF performers at the time, Owen Hart would have been the highest rated person.
Some might say this was the prototype for one Brawl for All. Was this pre-Brawl for All or post?
No. This is post almost, right?
This is post.
Yeah.
Okay. So they learned all the shit that happened from the Brawl for All.
We fucked up.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Octagon. We might as well just go all the way with it.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like octagon-y, but it was like it was a very tall structure.
And it was like V-like. So the referee had to stand on top and go in a circle. He couldn't be in the middle. That was dope. I know, dude. Everything about this match I liked, but it's something that's special and specific to particular wrestlers. It's not for everyone.
Then we have Michael Cole with Stone Cold backstage. Michael Cole with Cold. Austin says he respects Taker, but he'll cheap shot his way to keeping the title because he'll do anything it takes. So, whatever. Makes sense. Mankind in a 2-on-1 handicap match versus New Age Outlaws.
Can I just say that even back then, I had a super distaste for New Age Outlaws. To me, they just didn't fit the DX attitude. This guy appropriating braids. The badass just didn't come off as a badass, and kisses on the shorts really turned me off. And just these two dudes, they were posers. They're trying to be cool in a cool faction, and they were posers.
Billy
Gunn had sweats on.
Looking back, I liked it when I was younger, but looking back, they give off a rapey vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to say about it, but they do. And
they're going to wear sweats.
They're supposed to be the faces in this match, but they're just like beating the shit out of Mankind with like weapons the entire match. So the New Age Outlaws, they come out to the ring. I'm sorry, hold on. In that Austin promo right before this, too, there's a red dumpster behind him. So it's right behind him.
Foreshadowing.
And the New Age Outlaws come out pushing the same red dumpster out to the ring with a bunch of weapons in it. Outlaws go right after Mankind. They're wearing South Park shirts because, that's cool. Billy Gunn and Mankind duel with chairs, back and forth, cookie sheet shots to Mankind's head. Mankind, we could hear somebody typing. I love it. We could take it on both men, fighting them back and forth. Outlaws slam Mankind into the dumpster head first. It's just, I don't know. JR says, I'd like $1 for every concussion Mankind has had. And I go, you're an evil man. That guy's going to have CTE one day, and you're going to have $15 in the bank account. Are you going to feel good about yourself?
Okay, guys, one last time. Just going to interject and let y'all know, Kurgan is good.
Kurgan? Why Kurgan? What's up with Kurgan? What happened to Kurgan?
That's his catchphrase. I thought you guys would catch on to that catchphrase.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That was like, y'all ever played WWF Attitude for the PlayStation 1? That was the thing he would say.
Kurgan is good.
Exactly.
Gunn tossed into the table, assisted neckbreaker to Mankind, assisted powerbomb through 2 setup tables to Mankind. Then we have a spike pile driver to Mankind. 5 out of 10 for me. Billy Gunn gets the pin and the win. Why didn't they just like end the match early? Like try to be faces, and just try to win, not just beat the shit out of Mankind for 5 minutes?
Well, this is going somewhere for Mankind, right? Like he was on the verge of doing like a major turn. Yeah.
So one interesting fact about Kai and Tai, one person off that group, one Dick Togo, part of last night's main event of the Summer Struggle of Tetsuya Naito and Evil. So there you go.
Dick Togo's been making the rounds lately.
Been making the rounds.
Bullet Club. And some would say some Bullet Club, Dick Togo, Cactus Jack, he goes bang bang, back to the match. They throw Mankind into the dumpster. They try to roll it away, but out pops Kane. It's got to be Kane. He reveals the missing sledgehammer from earlier in the night. Kane strikes Mankind with the sledgehammer, but I love how you don't see the strike. Kane just goes.
Give JR props for selling that. Did you hear that? Oh my God, did you hear it?
You hear the flesh. You hear the flesh. And staring, it's going, just ripping off her skin. Triple H and Mankind. Who is doing all that typing? Who is invading us and doing that typing?
Turn off your microphone, though.
Triple H and then we go to my match of the night: Triple H versus The Rock.
So did you know Rage Against the Machine made their special appearance? Oh, wait a minute. That's not Zach De La Rocha. That's some imitator.
Like Chad Warren or something like that?
They said his name, yeah.
No,
Chad Kruger from Nickelback.
DX theme song band.
In the DX band. It was Chad something in a DX band.
But did you notice Jim Johnson was behind him playing guitar in it?
Oh, I didn't try.
But DX comes out. It was Chris Warren in the Chris Warren band. God rest his soul. And our producer's trying to say something to us, but we can't hear a thing he's saying.
He forgot he muted.
Chris Warren. He is a cousin of Triple H who has since passed away.
He's Triple H's cousin?
Pobrecito.
Hey, I think he's related to him.
Well, they seemed very close because Triple H comes out and they are just rocking out.
They have the same nose. That's how they're related.
When he threw him on his shoulders, he was nervous. He was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna drop me. He's gonna drop me."
Not to talk ill on Chris Warren or the band, but oh boy,
it was a very Rage Against the Machine.
They were playing in a garage the week earlier.
It's not as bad as when they were like playing the America the Beautiful in that one SummerSlam, and everybody just booed them.
Chris Warren did?
No, remember WrestleMania when Austin won the title? He was just like, America! And then everyone was like, right after that like garbage song, everybody just like booed the crap out of him.
Well, you know what? Good for the guy for making the money. Hopefully his soul is rested, and I don't know what to say.
Oh, yeah, no. Chris Warren, I mean, that DX theme is iconic.
Infamous, iconic. So this, like I said, this is my match of the night. It got about 26 minutes and 1 second. Triple H has DX come out to the ring. Oh, and by the way, the live performance, there's like a million camera cuts, like a million, and it keeps cutting back. It'll show him in the ring for like a second. And I'm like, okay, just whatever. Now, let's get into the match. Triple H is rocking out with the band Too Hard. That's when Mark Henry comes out to the ring with The Rock. China with Triple H strikes back and forth between the two men. They battle on the outside. Triple H is whipped into the ladder on the outside, given a clothesline by The Rock. Triple H, Rock is he sets up a ladder, but also, God, what am I doing? I'm sorry, I'm all over with my notes. They battle back and forth. Rock focusing on the leg of Triple H that he took out earlier. I know, center the notes. They battle back and forth. Rock focusing on the leg. Rock places his Triple H's right leg in the ladder and proceeds to stomp down. Rock then sets up the ladder between the ring and the barricade, and drops Triple H knee first onto the ladder, which looked pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just get the Rock, just the slow, methodical pacing of him going to the ladder. And
he was so slow.
I'm just like,
I'm sorry.
Mark Henry eventually tosses another ladder into the ring, and JR is just baffled. Like, what? 2 ladders? You gotta be kidding me. I think this is like the 3rd ladder match in WWE history. The first one that doesn't involve Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
So Henry is holding Triple H back. China hits Henry with a forearm. Triple H knocks Rock off the ladder yet again, knocking him out of the ring. That's when Tripp hits a baseball slide into the ladder, into the Rock's face, busting him open. And that's when JR says
he bladed.
I think so, yeah, because there was a clear cut.
And it was very thin.
The Rock, that's when JR says, "Dad, you'll only see a man do a baseball slide into a ladder into a man's face on WWF." I'm like,
he's not lying.
Yeah, you're not lying there. Beautiful DDT to Triple H by The Rock. Both men climbing the ladder. Rock pushes Trips off the top of the ladder into a ladder that was set into the corner, but Trips knocks into the ladder, knocking both men down. Chair shots to The Rock while he's holding the ladder. And eventually we get the people's elbow while using the ladder as assistance. Because, if you do the move to a ladder while it's on top of you, it's going to hurt you 10 times more. Rock climbs the ladder slowly, so Tripp pulls him down, kind of pulls his underwear down.
Chonies.
Yeah. Henry tosses the powder into Triple H's eyes, a move that I haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 men battling on top of the ladder. That's when China gets in the ring, gives Rock a low blow.
That low blow.
Triple H gets up there, gets the pin, or not the pin, sorry. He just grabs the title.
Yeah.
Grabs the title for the win. This match gets a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. The fans were really into it. Both men gave it their all. And I think this was, like I said, the 3rd ladder match in WWE history. The only thing I didn't like are things that I can't have too much control over. The slow, methodical pace was a little jarring.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1998, not a spot fest in 2020.
Okay, well, yeah, fun match. These guys aren't known in their history to be big risk takers, and everything seems very telegraphed.
Yeah.
Even though you got them going above and beyond their Call of Duty. Great storytelling. Every single cheat known to man has been used in this match. There was ladders, there was powder, there was sliding baseball slides into the ladders. There was China.
Baseball slide into a ladder into a man's head.
You're right. The China doing the low blow, every single cheat you can do was used, and it was just used the right way to elevate the match. And I just had a blast, dude. This was when nostalgia doesn't fail.
Yeah. Then we go. Oh, no, sorry. So after the match, we have what is said to be exclusive home video footage. So at first, I thought this was like one of those things where it was like a documentary, and I'm like,
well, it was legit at first, yeah.
And they're following The Rock backstage from the match. Going to his locker room, and it's really cool because you see like Luna walking past him. You see people just like where's Undertaker? Where's Undertaker? Let's get him out.
Did you see the sign of the room he walked into?
No.
It was Vince McMahon's room.
Oh.
And it was dark. It was, it was blacked out. So he was probably in Gorilla.
Yeah.
So Rock walks in there, and then they cut. And he's talking, normal with the dude that's like escorting him to the back. This room right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he goes into the back and they turn on the lights, promo time.
Yeah. Rock. So I think this is the moment where The Rock fully went into full Rock mode.
Capital R.
Yeah. Capital R.
Erase the Y forever.
He cuts his promo. It says, "You know what, you jabroni? I'm going to lay the smackdown." Oh, it's really bad Rock too. God, I got to work on my impressions. It's okay though. But he did a great Rock promo, and this is literally the last time he held the IC title, because we're coming up
after this. He moved up. Yeah, after this he moved up
into the stratosphere, some would say.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to our main event of the night, The Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, a match that took about 20 minutes and 52 seconds, which felt like about 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
And dude, the crowd was hot after that big break and that exhausting ladder match. No. I don't know how they had the energy to carry it into this match, but you know what?
This match, it was a total slobber knocker. They come out. I will say this. Very good wrestling match by two legendary wrestlers.
Yes.
Because these guys were legitimately wrestling.
And they got legit hurt.
They weren't going out there and trying to just do a couple moves. They were literally wrestling each other.
Yeah. And if you notice, it started off really, really fast.
Yeah.
And then came to a screeching halt when Stone Cold almost got concussed.
Yeah. Well, because
everything had to slow down and they had to recuperate and recover. And then they ramped it back up, and that's when it became a dope match again.
The two had this weird lockup in the beginning of the match for like 30 seconds where they just traded arm wrenches and then just let go. So that happened. Taker catches Austin, though, going for a Luthez press and slams him into the ropes. They battle again. Kane comes out, and Taker says, "Get out of here, Kane. I don't want you. You're not wanted here. Go home. Mom wants help making lasagna."
That was cool. But did you notice that Austin almost broke Undertaker's arm when he went for that hard punch?
No.
Or the old school, as they call it now.
Oh, well.
So he went for the old school, and Austin went for an arm drag off the top.
Yeah.
But he held on a little bit too long and almost pile drove his whole arm into the mat. I was like, oh my God, Undertaker's going to break his arms.
Taker then choke slams Austin from the ring into the apron. They battle through the crowd, and it's total mob mentality when you're battling through the crowd in 1998.
Yeah, and I hate crowd surfing too.
Everyone just swarmed, like they swarmed around. I'm like, what's going on? That was one thing that I hated from shows that I kept noticing. Remember when you would sit near the aisle at a wrestling show back in the day, and then everybody, once the wrestlers coming down, they would all run down your aisle, and you're like, yo, whoa. So I'm on my bubble right here, 6 feet. Austin goes for a stunner, but Taker evades. Taker sets up Austin on table on the outside, goes for a top turnbuckle, gives Austin a leg drop through the table off the through the announcer's table.
Oh my God.
Before Shane McMahon started doing it.
And it wasn't clean either. It was a little botchy.
Taker brings Austin back into the ring, goes for the pin, but Austin gets his shoulder up. Luthez to the Austin elbow to Taker. Austin was looking for a stunner, but then both men awkwardly just fell down. Choke slam to Austin. Both men battle for their finisher, trying to get their finisher off. Austin crouched on the top rope, side Russian leg sweep. And Taker then goes, like you were saying, this is the spot we were talking about. He goes for
he went for it twice. This is the second time.
Oh, it's the second time?
This is the second time.
We're a second time where he tries to go for old school. Austin hits him with a low blow. I don't know why the ref didn't DQ him because he was looking right at him. You know,
he didn't see him. According to JR, he didn't see him.
Stunner to Taker, pin, win. I give this about a 6 out of 10 in my opinion. Some would say it was a really great match and like it was one of the greatest matches.
I wouldn't say greatest matches, but it was really, 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 really good.
It was really
good drama. It was a good drama show.
Match by wrestlers. Okay, this was a solid wrestling match by two legends. You don't get to do this anymore. And it was really good to see these guys in their prime. That being said, the slow pace of this match was killing me at times.
I'm telling you, it was due to injury, man. It was that one move where, when somebody gets thrown to the ropes, Undertaker went down and Stone Cold kicked him. When Undertaker threw his head back up, he smashed Stone Cold in the forehead. And that's when Stone Cold laid out on the ground. He was like, oh, crap, what the hell? And from there, he was woozy for a long time.
So after the match, I pull my notes back up. After the match, Taker grabs the title. He's looking and he's like, well, I want to strike you with this title, but you won fair and square, Austin. So here
That's
you
not
go.
very undead-like, Corey. I'm going to need a bit more undead from you.
This is the Undertaker. Well, he's not super undead yet. He's still just like this guy.
Showing a sense of humanity. He's kind of humbled by the fact that Austin got the better of him.
And his roots are growing out, so.
Where in the timeline was this in Undertaker? Was this right before American Badass or right before the Ministry?
I think this was right before the corporate ministry, right?
No, he hasn't. The Ministry has not started because Dennis Knight is still in Southern Justice. He has not been kidnapped to be turned into Midian yet.
You're right.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Thank you, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I just anytime I'm worried about the WWE timeline, I just say, "What's Dennis Knight doing?"
What's his timeline?
Yeah, and then you automatically figure out.
I think there's a Twitter account for that. Hold on, let me check what Dennis Knight is doing.
What Dennis Knight is doing, yeah. Then Taker's walking up the ramp, and then Kane, his mom tells him to go pick up his brother from the ring. So he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna walk you home from school, Taker. Thank you, Kane. I don't want anyone taking me to the wrong dressing room. I want to go to my own dressing room."
Wrong Kane. You got to make sure you got to put the device on your neck.
I know.
Got to go into that. Yeah.
And you know they got that from South Park too, right?
Mom said, "Yeah, absolutely.
Everything from South Park.
What's
South Park doing? We're doing it."
Or did Ned take it from them?
Ned is an original. He's an original.
Ned and Kane are one and the same. That's weird how that kind of rhymes. Nonetheless, I want to go in. That was the whole show. Before we wrap things up and maybe do an unboxing, I want to talk about the star ratings that Dave Meltzer gave the show because we can talk about that. Because why not? D'Lo Brown versus Val Venus got a 1.75 star rating. Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
The Oddities versus Kai and Tai got a -2 star rating.
Okay, well, I would have given it a 1.
That's really low.
I would have given it like 1 or a 0.5. Yeah.
X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett, hair versus hair, 3 stars.
3, yep.
Edge and Sable versus Jacqueline and Mark Merrow, 1.5 stars. Here's the thing. I thought that match was worse than the Oddities match. Just saying. My opinion.
Not me.
Ken Shamrock, Owen Hart, Lions
3.5.
3.5 stars. Yep. New Age Outlaws versus Mankind, no DQ match.
3,
2-on-1. 1 star.
Ooh.
Triple H versus The Rock, ladder match for the IC title. 4.25 stars. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker.
4.25.
3.5 stars.
Wow. I thought it was better than that, but okay.
That was SummerSlam 1998. And are we doing anything else or Jose?
Unbox that, Jose. Unbox.
Should we unbox or should we wait to unbox for tomorrow's pay-per-view?
Well, you're already teasing us, so you might as well do it now.
Wait, no, we could tease it for the next day.
All
give them an incentive. We got to build to the next show. Remember that, guys.
Does that mean I could only buy Cody because, like, Michael, you have Kenny, Jose, you have Jericho, so I have.
He was the last one in Richmond.
I don't want to get the Bucks.
Wait, Jericho was the last one in Richmond. Who else was there?
Yeah. Kenny Omega. There were like 2 or 3.
Damn straight.
I would have.
Did you see any GI Joes there?
I didn't go. My brother actually went.
All right. Well, that was SummerSlam 1998. All right. SummerSlam 1998. We will be back if you're watching this when it gets uploaded tomorrow or today for the WWE Payback.
Why are you doubting me, Corey? This is going to get uploaded as soon as possible.
Well, we don't know. They could be watching this in 2025 for all I know.
True.
Hey, if YouTube processing algorithms has anything to show by it.
You know, and if you are watching this in 2025 and you want to know what happens,
then they fucked up.
If you want to know what happened at Payback 2020, check out that video. We can't give a link to it because it hasn't happened yet. So
I'm sorry. I'm about like 2 beers in, so this is going to go great.
Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at CWR4 and 5, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
I'm on the highway to hell. I will dance more exotically.
Hello, ladies.
Okay, now we're getting demonetized. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. That's funny because you're video game now. All right.